no matter how bad things became between Prince William and Prince Harry, there would eventually be a reconciliation. After all, they were brothers. Not just brothers, but two men who had experienced a childhood unlike anyone else in the world. They walked behind their mother's coffin together. They grew up under relentless public scrutiny together. They spent decades standing side by side, and for a long time, many people assumed that Bond could survive anything. But according to a growing number of royal commentators, something has changed. This is no longer being described as a temporary family disagreement. It's no longer being described as a misunderstanding, and it's no longer being viewed as a relationship that simply needs time to heal. Instead, some royal observers now believe Prince William has reached a point where he sees no path back, no trust, no reconciliation, no return. And according to those commentators, one factor sits at the center of everything: Meghan Markle. Now, to be clear, nobody outside the royal family knows exactly what conversations have taken place behind closed doors. But critics point to years of interviews, documentaries, public accusations, and deeply personal revelations that have left scars many believe may never fully disappear. Because from William's perspective, according to royal analysts, this wasn't just a family dispute. It became a public war. Private conversations became global headlines. Family disagreements became streaming content. Royal tensions became international entertainment. And critics argue that William has never forgiven that. What makes the situation even more dramatic is that the future king now occupies a very different position than he did when the conflict first began. Every year, William moves closer to the throne. Every year, his responsibilities grow larger. Every year, the monarchy's future becomes more closely tied to his leadership. And according to some commentators, that reality is changing how he views Harry altogether. The question is no longer whether the brothers can repair their relationship. The question is whether William even wants to. Because according to reports, palace insiders and royal observers increasingly describe a man who has stopped looking backward and started looking forward. A man focused on protecting the institution, protecting his family, and protecting the future of the monarchy, even if that means leaving his brother behind. But here's where the story becomes even more explosive. Because according to critics, William doesn't simply blame Harry for what happened. They believe he blames Meghan for changing Harry entirely, for turning a family conflict into a permanent divide, for creating a situation where trust became impossible. And if those critics are right, then the biggest obstacle to reconciliation isn't distance, it isn't time, and it isn't pride. It's the belief that the person William once knew no longer exists. Before we get to why some royal commentators believe William has completely closed the door on Harry, we need to go back to the moment many people believe everything started falling apart. Because according to those observers, that's when William first realized the damage might be permanent. According to many royal commentators, the breakdown between Prince William and Prince Harry didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one interview, it wasn't one argument, and it wasn't one decision. Instead, they believe it happened gradually. A slow erosion of trust that built up over years until the relationship became almost unrecognizable. In the early days, reports suggested William had concerns about how quickly Harry's relationship with Meghan Markle was progressing. According to accounts that later emerged, William allegedly encouraged his younger brother to slow down and take more time before making major life decisions. Supporters of Harry viewed that as interference. Supporters of William viewed it as concern. But regardless of which interpretation people accepted, many royal observers believe that moment marked the beginning of a much larger divide. Because from Harry's perspective, criticism of Meghan increasingly felt personal. And from William's perspective, concern for Harry increasingly felt unwelcome. Over time, those differences reportedly became harder to ignore. The brothers who once appeared inseparable began appearing together less frequently. Joint appearances became more formal. Body language became a topic of endless discussion. Every public interaction was analysed for signs of tension. At first, many people dismissed the rumours. After all, siblings argue. Families disagree. That alone wasn't shocking. What shocked observers was how quickly the situation seemed